Good evening. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. An agreement is signed to expand concession block number 61 of Khazan project in the governorate of Al-Wusta. The Government Excellence Conference commences in Muscat. The Ministry of Transport and Communications reveals investment opportunities in land surrounding Muscat and Salalah airports. Live from the Sultanate of Oman's News Center, here are the details of tonight's news. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has sent a cabal of greetings to His Excellency President Tomislav Nikolic of Serbia on his country's National Day. The Ministry of Oil and Gas signed with British Petroleum Company and Oman Oil Company for exploration and production to expand the areas of concession zone in block number 61 of Khazan project. According to the initial agreement, the expansion will add 1,000 square kilometers to the concession blocks number 61, which its current area is 2,700 square kilometers. This expansion will enable BP company to find more gas reserves and to increase local production of gas needed by the Sultanate. Works at the first developing phase of Khazan's project is going on with the expectation of first gas shipment production in the specified time 2017. The agreement was signed by His Excellency Dr. Mohammed bin Hamad al-Rumhi, Minister of Oil and Gas, Chief Executive Officer of BP International Company and Executive Directors General of Oman Oil Company for exploration and production. A conference on government excellence held this morning in Muscat under the auspices of His Excellency Mohammed bin Zubair bin Ali, advisor of His Majesty the Sultan for Economic Planning Affairs. More details in the following report by Sultan bin Saif al-Sarrai.
To improve the functional efficiencies in the public sector, the Ministry of Civil Service organized Government Excellence Conference, which witnessed wide attendance of experts and officials in the government and private sectors from the Sultanate and abroad.
This conference, it is one of the efforts of the Ministry of Civil Service and the Public Administration for Public to enhance and boost the quality of the general manager in the government. And the aim of this program, as I mentioned in my speech this early morning, is concise on three main things: how to be planning strategic, and how to be a leader strategic, and how to rule yourself.
The conference discussed the excellence in government sector at the level of GCC countries. Besides, presented international models on improving the quality of the government sector.
I think it's a very good step forward to see how the government will exceed the excellence and the way forward to change the way that the government is acting at the moment. And inshallah, I think this is a very good step as well to also mature whatever the way that we are doing until we go to reach that excellence performance.
One of the best outcomes in this conference is that there is local and very regional success stories, and I guess we are here to share those. You have in UAE, you have in Qatar, and there is, mashallah, there's a huge success stories and very nice highlights that I think Omani government can utilize.
The event also discussed the digital government, improving human resources in the government sector, and other topics relevant to the work improvement in the public sector. As we witnessed in this conference, various experienced minds have shared their valuable thoughts in terms of the government excellence in order to enhance it from different aspects. Sultan bin Saif al-Sarrai, Muscat.
The Ministry of Transport and Communications held a meeting with media personnel revealing its programs and plans for the year 2016. More details in the following report.
Policies and strategic planning, legislations and laws, investment in transport and communications sector, developing institutional work, following up implementation of projects, facilitating procedures and transport of goods were the main topics reviewed at the meeting held under the theme General Policies and Plans of the Ministry of Transport and Communication 2016 with media personnel. The meeting touched upon plans of the ministry in the sector of ports and maritime affairs and focused on starting implementation of services passage to Salalah port, leading to the free and industrial zones, finishing designs and drafting tender documents of developing Shanas port, operating a special berth for loose materials in port of Sohar, setting up loose materials pier in Menji area, preparing a marketing study for Khasab port, issuing regulation of training and licensing sailors working on board vessels in accordance with amendments of International Convention on Standards of Training and Licensing for Seafarers. The meeting also discussed the telecommunications sector in terms of forwarding the communication regulatory law to legislative bodies for approval and release, overcoming challenges facing this sector, upgrading quality of services, continue carrying out the joint initiative meant to expand scope of telecommunication services rendered in the Sultanate, running new stations and developing existing networks, working on boosting demand on network service, and reviewing legislative and regulatory matters in order to serve rapid spread of the service.
Operating economic aviation by the end of current year, opening the door to apply for general aviation licenses, providing investment opportunities in land surrounding Muscat and Salalah airports, announcing the marketing plan for Sohar Airport to attract international aircrafts, and updating the civil aviation law in the Sultanate were the most prominent points discussed in the civil aviation plan for the current year. Concerning the transport sector, it has been stressed that new parts of the Al-Batina Highway will be opened in addition to finishing first stage of Bid Road, Sur Road project and Jibreen Ibri Road project, besides carrying out the strategic plan for public transport and monitoring excessive loads on roads. Planning to establish a special carriageway for public transport in roads of the Governorate of Muscat and air-conditioned stations for passengers were announced by His Excellency Engineer Salim bin Mohammed Al-Nuaimi, Chairman of the Board of Directors of the National Transport Company Muwasalat, in a statement for Sultanate of Oman Radio and Television. Strengthening and developing cooperation between the Sultanate and Mauritania was the focus of the meeting of His Excellency Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah, Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs in Muscat, with His Excellency Dr. Iselko Wald Ahmed Azid Bia, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Cooperation of Mauritania. The two sides had cordial talks and discussed matters of joint concern, in addition to exchange of points of view on a number of regional issues. The Central Bank of Oman notified in a circulation sent to all money exchange establishments and companies working in the Sultanate that the CBO learned that some of them enforced varied exchange rates in that related to Omani Riyal exchange to Emirati dirham, with big difference and excessive in some cases compared to previous rates. CBO in the circulation mentioned that the Omani Riyal is tied to the US dollar. It is imperative not to impose any additional unnecessary burden on the members of the public, stressing that all money exchange establishments and companies working in the Sultanate should abide by this notification. Still to come in our news bulletin, the Unicode tutorial workshop starts in German University of Technology in Muscat. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. Harmonizing concepts, procedures and approaches applied in the GCC countries to prepare health indicators and introducing sustainable development indicators 2016-2030 is being held in the workshop that commenced this morning under the auspices of His Excellency Dr. Ahmed bin Mohammed Al-Saidi. More details in the following report. With the aim to develop and promote practical knowledge related to the preparation and harmonization of statistics and health indicators in the Gulf Cooperation Council, the Statistical Center of the Gulf Cooperation Council organized a two-day workshop in collaboration with the Executive Board of Health Ministers of the Gulf Cooperation Council. On the importance of the workshop, His Excellency Professor Tawfiq bin Ahmed Khoja, Director General of Executive Board of the GCC Health Ministers Council, said,
is to exchange the expertise and the knowledge and the skills and the talent between the GCC in this area, which is really an area of expertise and area of needed to have to transfer experience from each country. Fourth is to come out, or fifth to come out with the glossary of terms and glossary of indicators, which will help us to have standards of definitions for all indicators in the GCC, which make life easy for conversion and do effective measurement of the healthcare status in all GCC countries.
And Mr. Saber Al-Harbi, Director General GCC Statistics, commented on the workshop and said,
this workshop is part of the effort of GCC STAT to harmonize statistical activities in GCC countries. This is a very important step towards harmonizing strategies within GCC at national level as well at the GCC level. We look at different issues. One of the issues is the importance of dissemination of statistics that related to health activities within a proper time frame for the better use by different users.
And the workshop, which has been attended by officials specialized in the planning, preparation and development of health statistics and vital statistical centers in the Gulf Cooperation Council and the Executive Office of the Council of Ministers of Health of the Gulf Cooperation Council, as well as the Regional Office of the WHO for the Eastern Mediterranean. This comes in line with the global and regional trends and in recognition of the pivotal role played by the health information in strategic planning and in strengthening health research systems and the issuance of decisions based on the evidence. The Competences Development Institute at the Diwan of the Royal Court organized an introductory program on the 1 million palm tree project in the wilayats of Ibri and Nizwa. It included a number of topics on the challenges and obstacles that face the project around 6 governorates of the Sultanate. It also witnessed discussion sessions and visual presentations on methods of studying soil and bodies of water around farming lands. It also focused on different stages of the project and came with some recommendations. The participants said some field visit to various farms affiliated to the project in the wilaya of Ibri. The total value of traded real estate circulation activity in the Sultanate was worth more than 349 million Omani Rials in last January. The Minister of Housing mentioned that the value of circulated contracts in January amounted to 374.7 million Omani Rials. The fees collected from all the legal transactions touched 5.8 million Omani Rials, and the total real estate transactions reached 40,935. Muscat Securities Market MSM General Index today added 7.64 points, comprising a rise by 0.14% to close at 5,365 points compared to the last sessions, which stood at 5,357 points. The trading value today stood at 2.4 million Omani Rials, comprising a decline by 32.44% compared to the last session, which stood at 3.6 million Omani riyals. The report released by MSM pointed out that the market value rose by 0.11% to reach about 16.24 billion Omani riyals. The Unicode tutorial workshop started in the German University of Technology in Muscat with the participation of around 200 specialists from around the world. The workshop is considered the first of its kind in the Middle East and South Asia region. It discussed various topics related to Unicoding, Arabic text, as well as presentations on the creation of Unicode for the Internet. The participants through this workshop will get acquainted with ways to develop local languages in accordance to their culture. They will also have the opportunity to communicate with the experts in leading companies around the world in the field of programming, information technology, and unifying Unicoding rules. The investment volume in Sohar Industrial Estate reached more than 1 billion and 800 million Omani riyals throughout 270 factories in various industrial fields. Within its future plans, the estate seeks to increase the industrial movement through developing the 7th phase and providing all necessary services with a cost of more than 19 million Omani riyals. The institutions and companies working in Sohar Industrial Estate are specialized in various fields related to foodstuff, chemicals, mining, and heavy equipment, in addition to paper products and services projects. Within the aim to activate the local touristic in the Sultanate, the activities of traditional horse race festival started in horse race ground in the Wilaya of Ibra. More than 100 horsemen from various wilayas of the governorates of North and South Sharqiya participated in the festival. Reflects the Omani traditional and customs. The festival included various parts such as Rakda al-Arda for horse riders and a number of traditional arts like al-Razha. Various horse displays and some traditional arts were performed such as al-Hambal and Tahreeb. And now for the general weather forecast. Clear skies will prevail over the Sultanate with chances of scattered clouds on coastal areas overlooking Sea of Oman and chances of cloud accumulation on the Hajar Mountains and low clouds and fog late at night and early morning on the governorates of Al-Baremi, Al-Zahira, South Sharqiya and Al-Wusta. Winds will be northeasterly light to moderate on the coastal areas overlooking Sea of Oman. On the rest of the governorates, it will be northerly to northwesterly light to moderate, occasionally active. Seas will be moderate and rough along the area of the sea with a maximum wave height of 3 meters, while it will be slight along the rest of the Sultanate with a maximum wave height of 1.25 meters. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. An agreement is signed to expand concession block number 61 of Khazan project in the governorate of Al-Wusta. The Government Excellence Conference starts in Muscat. The Ministry of Transport and Communications reveals investment opportunities in land surrounding Muscat and Salalah airports. Live from the Sultanate of Oman News Center television here, we come to an end of tonight's news bulletin. Thank you for joining us.